The man whose house could be burned down by the city was in court today, his bond lowered by a judge. 53-year-old Marc Hibel was arrested back in July when investigators say he admitted to making and detonating homemade explosives. His Highview home on Applegate Lane was found full of chemicals and junk. Police describing it as a hoarding situation and said he'd also been squatting in the home next door.
Employment as a chemist came to an end. He planned to go into business with another chemist. He basically got laid off, Judge, and he and his boss were going to go start their own chemical handling business. That gentleman passed away. Mr. Hibel was not able to move into that business as he had intended. So he had a lot of chemicals stored on his property that he had no purpose for anymore, and he had no means to dispose of them. So
today, his attorney addressed those allegations, saying he did have a mental health condition. He asked that Hibel be released to a social worker with Wellspring so that he could start inpatient treatment, but the county argued he was too dangerous to be released.
A lot of unknown. We know that I'm going to disagree with the defense just a little bit on the no bomb making. We have found improvised blasting caps and ignition switches throughout the property, and with the dangerous chemicals, we think that he is still a danger to this community.
Am I right?
The judge agreed to part of Hibel's request. She dropped his bond from $50,000 to $10,000. If he is released, he'll be on house arrest and will be required to be assessed by Wellspring. As for his home, his attorney entered a motion to preserve evidence to save his belongings from damage. But until the city decides if or when they will burn down that home, they're pausing that motion. As of right now, the EPA has not made a final recommendation on what should happen at 6213 Applegate Lane. That's the house full of hazardous chemicals that are too difficult to remove by hand. The city initially proposed a controlled burn, but the EPA has been charged with assessing other alternatives. Last week, officials cleaned up the house next door, 6211 Applegate Lane. They say mercury was found on that property. The EPA used air monitoring devices to sweep the house for the chemical, finding and removing any beads.